Hello, Knights fans. Back with this week's edition of the FDU Men's Basketball Report. The Knights just completed their non-conference portion of their schedule with a 3-8 record against the 16th toughest schedule in the country, and that's all according to Ken Pom. Coach, as you look back now on the whole at the non-conference slate, what were some of the positives and good things you saw from the team?
Who's Ken Pom? Do you know?
Ken Pomeroy.
Yeah.
So he's the guy. I mean, he does all these sorts of analytics. I know there's an NBA team that has him on board now.
Did he play or did he coach or he's just an analytics guy?
Yeah, I think he's really just an analytics guy that's grown into the game.
We'll get him on my
Yeah, we'll try to get
Let's
Ken
work
Pom
on
out
Ken
here.
Pom.
Yeah. But he's the guy for college basketball, so people take his stuff seriously. In the RPI, it's a lot of those kind of ratings.
Right.
So 16th toughest schedule in the country, though.
Right. It doesn't really – I guess it helps you, but it helps you down the road. But, it's a new season. Right now, we're 0-0, and so is LIU and Sacred Heart and Wagner. And, I think we've challenged ourselves every year that I've been here. And it's a hard process, but every year we've won either 5, 4, or 3 games going into our conference. But, again, like I said, it's a new slate, and we're prepared. And I think going to Maryland and going to Seton Hall and going to Rutgers and going to Penn State and going to Iona, and NJIT, those are tough, competition. Right now, if we could have held on at Iona and won the NJIT game, you're 5-6 with that Ken Pom rating, you're okay. But the ratings don't mean it. The only rating that means anything is going to be in March. But we need to start off strong, and we have 2, road games against 2 really good teams coming up here soon.
Just to briefly recap the Maryland game, there were some definite positives. Your team crashed the offensive glass with 18 offensive rebounds, which is the most you've had in almost 2 seasons. You won the turnover battle 17-10. Just seemed like it was an off night shooting the basketball.
Yeah, no, it was, off night is kind of the extreme understatement. I mean, Darnell Edge went 1 for 11, and we watched it like the shot. He never misses those shots. Darian Anderson had layups. Jaleel had we had Mike around the basket. We had we had a bunch of good and if we just make 5 more shots, you kind of hang and you may be there. But the most important thing about the Maryland game is in the second half, they shot 31% from the floor and 8% from the three-point line. So we really guarded and played hard, and but that was a really good opponent in a tough arena. But that game, we just have to put the ball in the basket, and I'm sure we will.
So now you look ahead to NEC play, and it's always nice to get off on a good start. You've won all 4 of your NEC openers since you've joined FDU.
Right.
As a whole, the program's won 5 straight. So you've always played the tough non-conference schedule, but it's always great to get off on the right foot in the NEC play. Is that something that is always just something to look forward to? Like, it's just been by chance? How has that the start for the team gone?
Bryan, after the break, we get better. Like, we gel, we practice more. There's no class. And I think, we've had a number, 2 most improved players in the conference in the 5 year or the 4 years now that we've been here. And I think our teams get better. So I think we're ready to play that first game. And I think, obviously, it's not Maryland, it's not Seton Hall, it's a common opponent. And I think our team, against common opponents, we've had 23 wins in the last 2 years in the NEC. So, that's a lot of wins. So we know how to win in this league, but it doesn't mean that it's a given that, LIU is going to hand it to us or Sacred Heart. Those are 2 really good teams, and they had really good pre-conference scheduled games. And this year, this league is nuts. I mean, everyone's good and everyone's competitive. So it's we're going to have our hands full, but so is everybody else.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to put stock in the standings at this point because people play a different level of non-conference schedules. Right. So you really can't gauge too much from that, just a little bit here and there. So starting with LIU, it's a team you split with last season. You won here, and then you went out to Brooklyn, and you didn't have Darian Anderson. It was actually the first game he missed of his college career. He took a little bit of a fall prior to that game. So now you obviously have him in the fold. But they have a new coach, a little bit of a new roster, Frank's gone. So what have you seen on tape from LIU and from what you want to see from your team?
They play really hard. They press, and they try to take you out of your offense. Offensively, Hernandez is really, really playing at a high level. Clark is the most improved player in our conference over the last 3 years. And, Derek's a really good coach. So they're going to present different problems for us. So we really respect LIU. We know how hard they are. They're tough kids, and I think, we have the same. But we play well over there, and that's, we want to get cheesecake at juniors after those Brooklyn games, and that's our goal. But quite honestly, LIU is a very, very good basketball team and very well coached, and it's going to be a really tough game.
And then you head up to Fairfield, Connecticut on New Year's Eve to take on the Sacred Heart Pioneers, another team you split with. You defended the home court here, and then you went out there and took a tough loss. And that was obviously during the skid last year, as you started 8-1, and then we're 1-8 down the stretch. So it's to not put too much stock into last season's ratings, but it's another team that you're very familiar with. And obviously it's the final game of this long road trip, 7 straight, so then you finally start 2018 back here in the Rothman Center. So just how important would it be to finish the 2017 on the right foot as you finally get back here?
Yeah, I think, I hate to say it and sound like a coach, but you just have to win as many games as you can whenever you can. And winning road games for us historically has been a positive. We're good on the road, although right now we've lost a bunch of road games consecutively. But in our league, the year we won it, we were 8-2 on the road and won the championship game on the road. You weren't here. So we would go into buildings and just really play basketball. And I think, this team has that within them, but they have to do it. Jaleel's a freshman, has to win a road game. Noah's a freshman, Elijah's a freshman. But quite honestly, Darian Anderson and Mike Holloway and Darnell Edge have to lead the way and play better, and I'm sure that they will.
Yeah. So, and then just to get back into the list, we obviously haven't spoke since before the holidays.
Right.
You got Christmas, we got New Year's coming up. I know this week on your radio show you're going to kind of do a recap of the full season and recap the holidays.
The year. It's a recap of 2017 in its entirety, and then looking ahead into 2018. Obviously for us, 2016, it was really hard to probably have a better year holistically for our entire program. But right now, we're going to have some fun with Kenny. There's no guests, so it's just going to be Coach G and Kenny kind of just taking a deep breath, enjoying the holidays and looking ahead and looking backwards and talking about our former guests and our future guests. So we're really excited about. I love the show, and this is going to be a good show. I think the fans that really listen to it all the time will enjoy this show because it'll kind of connect with what's gone on and what's going to continue to go on. So we're excited about it. I just want to wish everybody, your family included, a really happy and healthy and prosperous winning New Year.
Yes. You too, and all our fans looking forward to a great 2018. Continued success for the Knights. So Coach will kind of put a bow on his radio show this week, it sounds like, as they recap all their great guests that they've had throughout the year. That you can tune in Saturday at noon for that on WFDU, and then also on Coach Herenda's SoundCloud channel and FDUKnights.com. So a lot of ways to access the program there. So the Knights will open up NEC action finally this Friday. That'll be a 4:30 start against LIU Brooklyn in Brooklyn, and then Sunday that'll be a 2:30 start in Fairfield, Connecticut against the Sacred Heart Pioneers. For all information about the FDU men's basketball team, definitely make sure you head back to FDUKnights.com.